when it comes to our lovely feminines and masculines. The beauty is the freedom to use your mind wisely. And so when you know you're never alone, because you have your divine feminine, your body, your inner child adult, divine masculine, your mind, and then we have the left mode is the masculine and the right is the feminine, and that's because the emotions come up and what is contained here comes up over here, and then the left is the chit chatter that comes online at the year of two age, if I remember correctly. So our mind, we use it wisely when we're free to be ourselves. How do you get to be yourself? It's called healthy self-worth. Women, men, and theys. And that's all people who don't shame people, which is why we don't turn our back on God, on Holy Spirit. Even though the ones of the ancient textbooks, the rigid ones, they think that, everybody needs to live the medieval times. So we leave it alone. And we allow ourselves to continue talking. 5D Mystic Spiritual here, Enlightenment Soul Age Group. So when you have empowering information like education, you know why some people don't know how to use their mind, because they are distorted. The self lens is distorted with shame. So they don't see themselves, which means they don't soothe themselves. They don't have the safety or security within their own body. So their feminine, divine in this case, is not able to say you're beautiful just the way you are, because their heart is broken. They lost that something sacred. That 1-year-old or 3-year-old, there's shame in there. So there's a defectiveness button. Until they make it whole by going to good therapy, they will want to shame others. And they use words like devils, demons, evils, and anyone that wants to basically just box people up. And that's why the adaptive child parts of people hang around with Peter Pan's Lost Boys and Lost Girls and Lost Days, and they continue that, leave it alone. But the feminines of the 5D mystic plane and the masculines, we know how we are pair. Okay, so we're going to keep talking about that pair. And we actively know God, source, universe, essence of love, life, Holy Spirit. It's all basically one and in the same, because the whole thing about the devil, demon, Lucifer, there's not the stories. There's information that informs us of what a person who has a distorted lens can do. They can go to good therapy and get healed. So dissociative identity disorder and disorganized attachment, it's a real thing, and the people who don't want to believe in it, they actively chase scientists down the hallways, and basically they want to not believe in it because they have not healed their own trust break trauma stuff. I mean, that's the only explanation, is they're leading with ego. In fact, they're leading with the left mode, and they actively have a shame button here. And so they want to continue to use the extremes of all inherently good, all inherently bad, with whatever group and however they've decided. Okay, so teenager attitude is what that black and white thinking is, fight response, modulated embodied self people, and not bilaterally integrated. Actively engaging with their survival safety behavior mode as soon as Cusco begins doing Cusco. So, long story short, they will in fact not feel free. And they will say, I'm not free to do what I want. So it's all about mindset, and the mindset of people that are not within the wholeness of their self is that they don't have the opportunity to change their circumstances. And while a feminine can know what they're talking about, they do have the free will to work with their left and their right so that they can create harmony with inside their own heart and not have laundry. The Zen master talks about laundry. He talks about laundry because he gets still very upset when he is emotional. Means he doesn't use his prefrontal cortex. It's not a race. You don't have to do mindfulness living. You don't even have to do mindfulness loving. But you're going to talk to me about being in a Zen master position, I'm going to wonder what you're doing, because you actively, from what I gather, are supposed to be able to sit in meditation with the unknown and be okay with it. But maybe you're not an expert yogi just yet. Maybe you're still working with that darkness part. Okay, so when I say the unknown darkness, they don't mean anything except for you and I as human beings. We have secondary consciousness. So belief or no belief, you're all going to be presented with the same equation. The Zen master who doesn't know how to do emotions as a champ, basically, it's because of the depth of suffering that things like knowing that you're going to die and you won't know it, or that you get sad because sad happens, or that we have suffering, okay? So, not a competition. The level of depth of your emotional plane will be experienced by you. and you get to translate it here, and you get to translate it here. When I came to neutrality with my emotional plane, it was easy because I chose on my own, because I said, you don't have to go left and right like the ocean. And that's active you learning how to bring your prefrontal cortex down. Tara Brach, she gives a really good meditation example of how to do this. If you want to practice it, it's for free on YouTube. So reach out to me and I'll gladly share. And we will be right back. I'm going to make this one a short one so that you can just hear the gist of the concept. I don't even know what I'm going to title it, but I'll be back with something more. So like, share, and subscribe in the meantime. And thank you for tuning in.